If I were starting a health or wellness coaching business from scratch today with no clients, no audience, and no website, there are three things I'd focus on and three pieces of common advice I'd completely ignore. I'm going to tell you what they are in this video, and I'm also going to give you a simple 90-day plan that I'd follow to get my first 10 paying clients. I'm Nicole Piper. I used to be an entertainment executive. I helped build brands like MTV, Nickelodeon, and Pokémon into global icons. Now I use my Fortune 500 experience and the advanced copywriting skills I learned from one of the top alternative health copywriters in the world to help health and wellness professionals build profitable coaching businesses. I do it using a trust-based marketing method. It gets rid of the guesswork and helps people see my clients as the obvious choice. So let's dive in. First, let me tell you what I would not waste my time on. Everyone tells new coaches to pick a niche, and honestly, I used to say the same thing, but then I watched it keep people stuck for so long, many months, and it can really keep coaches away from their number one goal when they're just starting out, which we'll get to in a moment. Now, if you're already 100% certain which niche you want to start with, that's great, but if that's not you, you can breathe a sigh of relief. All right, now the second thing I'd skip is spending any time or money on developing my brand identity, and I say that as someone who has a 29-year career building brands. But if I was starting a new health and wellness coaching business, I wouldn't have a photo shoot, I wouldn't worry about a logo, and I wouldn't spend any time thinking about brand colors, fonts, or any of that type of stuff. Those things are all nice to haves, but they will not get you clients. A person with a health problem doesn't care about your brand colors or your logo. They care about whether you can help them. So building a brand identity at this stage is often procrastination disguised as productivity. Keeps you really busy, but it won't move the needle on your business. And the third thing I'd skip is building a website. At this stage, you probably don't have what you need to really create a website that will actually get you clients. And if your website isn't helping you get clients, what's it there for? Right? So save the website for later. Right now, you need to focus on something else entirely. So if I'm not picking a niche, building a brand, or creating a website, what am I doing? Well, the most important thing in your launch phase is getting client experience. Hands down, this is your number one goal. When I was building my business, I already knew I wanted to help health and wellness professionals with their marketing, but my mentor told me to focus on getting any kind of client experience I could. So I worked with interior designers, financial planners, theology teachers, SaaS companies, supermarkets, anyone who would hire me. And I learned so much. I learned what questions to ask. I figured out what kind of people I'd like working with and who I didn't. And most importantly, I gained confidence. Eventually, I started seeing patterns. I noticed where people were really struggling beneath the surface. And I got clearer on what I loved doing and where I could make the biggest difference. I even started seeing how my background in the corporate world gave me unique experience that was relevant to how I could help my clients. And I realized it gave me a perspective that other people in my field just didn't have. Those kinds of things only happen through doing the reps. Now let's get to the second thing I'd focus on, and that's building a deep understanding of the people I'm helping. Every conversation with a client or potential client is a golden opportunity. Go beyond the surface level questions like, how long have you had this problem, or what have you tried? You want to understand how the problem shows up in their daily life, what they've stopped doing because of it, and how it makes them feel, why what they tried didn't work, what would change if they solved it, and why they're trying to solve it now. And write down the exact words they use. You'll see these insights will become one of the biggest needle movers in building your business. Because when you use the words real people use, you're speaking as a genuine person, not a marketer. And that builds trust. Plus, when you understand their frustration and obstacles, you can find ways to make those non-issues in your coaching. That's how you stand out. Okay, the third thing I'd focus on is getting testimonials. Working with clients is the only way to build your library of social proof. Even if your early testimonials are from people dealing with different problems than what you'll eventually focus on, they're still really valuable. They show potential clients what you're like to work with as a coach. And that's one of the first things people want to know before they invest in you. So those are the three things I would do and the three things I'd ignore. Now let's get to the 90-day plan. This is what I'd focus on to get my first 10 paying clients. In month one, my only goal is to get 3 paying clients. Not free clients, paying clients, even if it's just $100. Here's how I'd find them. First, I'd ask friends and family if I could coach them. Okay, and then I'd ask them for referrals. I'd tap into any social groups, online communities, or organizations I already belong to. And I'd be honest about it. I'd say I'm looking to get some experience, and I'd love to coach you. I would also pick a topic that I'd be interested in helping people with. I'd create an outline for a short workshop I could give people to help them with that problem. Then I'd reach out to my own doctors, my chiropractor, my yoga studio, and I'd ask if they'd let me offer a free workshop to their clients. And then at the end of the workshop, I'd invite them to swing by and chat with me if they want help with this problem or something else. I'd also look at companies nearby with wellness programs and offer a free lunch and learn session. And at the end, same thing, I'd invite people to schedule a call to discuss their specific health goals. And if I have kids in school, I'd organize a workshop for parents in my kids' classes. The key here is that I'm not trying to build an audience on social media yet. I'm having real conversations with real people who might actually hire me. So that was month one. Now let's get to month two. Now I'm working with those first 3 clients and refining my process. I'm asking those deep questions I mentioned earlier, and I'm tracking what's working. I'm writing down the exact words they use to describe their problem. I'm also figuring out what I love about this work, what kind of people I enjoy working with, what patterns I'm seeing, and what obstacles keep coming up for people. By the end of month 2, I should have a much clearer picture of what I'm really good at and who I can help best. And I make sure to get testimonials from these clients. Then in month 3, I'm packaging what I've learned into a clear offer, not a complicated funnel or a fancy program, just a simple, clear offer that solves a specific problem for a specific type of person, using the language my first clients use to describe their problem and transformation. Then I'm going back to the same strategies for month 1 and getting 7 more paying clients. By the end of 90 days, I have 10 paying clients, a library of testimonials, deep insights into what people really need, and confidence in my ability to get clients. So that's exactly what I do if I were starting a health coaching business today. Skip the niche paralysis, the brand identity, and the website. Focus on getting experience, building deep understanding, and collecting testimonials. And follow a simple 90-day plan to get your first 10 paying clients. Now, if you want more strategies like this, including how to stand out in a crowded market, how to price your service, and how to create offers that sell, subscribe to my Substack newsletter. There are already dozens of free articles in there sharing tips and proven marketing strategies that will help you build a profitable business without feeling sleazy or salesy. The link is in the description below. And if you found this helpful, give this video a thumbs up and let me know in the comments which of the recommendations you're going to try first. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Okay, that's all I have for you today. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.